Here's a question that quietly stresses almost everyone. Am I behind on my pension? Most people have no idea what they should have saved by their age, so they just don't look. Let's fix that. In the next few minutes, I'll give you a simple age-by-age benchmark for how much should be in your pension pot at 30, 40, 50, and 60. A quick way to sense-check whether you're on track and exactly what to do if you're not. Plain English, this is educational, not financial advice. But it's the gut check everyone should run once a year. The easiest benchmark the experts use isn't a fixed pound figure because someone on 25,000 needs less than someone on 60. Instead, it's a multiple of your salary. The rough rule of thumb goes like this. By the time you retire, you want roughly 10 times your salary saved in your pension. And there are checkpoints along the way to see if you're on pace to get there. It's not precise to the penny, but as a quick "am I roughly on track" test, multiples of your salary are brilliant. So let's walk the ladder. Here's the ladder. By age 30, the aim is to have roughly 1 times your salary in your pension. By 40, around 2 to 3 times. By 50, somewhere between 4 and 6 times. By 60, about 8 times. And by the time you actually retire in your late 60s, roughly 10 times your salary. So take someone earning £30,000. That's about 30,000 saved by 30, 60 to 90,000 by 40, and well over 100,000 by 50. Find your salary, find your age, and you've got your rough target. Where do those multiples come from? They're built to give you roughly 2/3 of your working salary as income in retirement, enough for most people to keep their lifestyle. And remember the bit that makes it achievable. You are not doing this alone. The state pension, around £12,500 a year, does a big chunk of the lifting on top of your own pot. So the multiples are really about funding the gap between the state pension and the life you want. If you want the precise version, take your target income, subtract the state pension, and multiply the gap by 25. That's your exact number. Now, if you just did that maths and felt a bit sick, don't panic. Most people are behind, and there's a simple lever. There's a classic rule for how much to pay in. Halve the age you start saving, and that's the percentage of your salary to aim for. Start at 30, aim for around 15%, including what your employer adds. And 2 things make this far easier than it sounds. 1. Your employer match, free money you should grab in full. 2. Tax relief. The government tops up your contributions. So a chunk of that percentage isn't even coming from your take-home pay. Bump your contribution up a notch today. Your future self will thank you. A few honest caveats, because this is your money. These multiples are a rule of thumb, not a law. Your real number depends on when you want to retire, the lifestyle you want, whether you'll have a mortgage paid off, and how much state pension you'll get. Someone aiming to retire at 55 needs far more than someone working to 68. So use the ladder as a quick gut check, not a verdict. If you're ahead, brilliant. If you're behind, you now know the lever to pull. And if it's a big or complex pot, a regulated advisor is worth every penny. So to sense-check your pension by age, roughly 1 times your salary by 30, 2 to 3 times by 40, 4 to 6 by 50, 8 by 60, and about 10 times by the time you retire. Behind? Halve your starting age for your target percentage and grab every bit of employer match and tax relief going. Run this check once a year and you'll never be flying blind again. This is education, not advice. If it's serious money, speak to a regulated advisor. If it helped, subscribe.